Welcome everyone once again to the Noon Rotary Club. Good afternoon. So excited to see all of you here. Let's see. I would like to have Diana Geyer. Would you please lead us in the pledge? It's a pretend flag. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, songsters. Yes.
Are you going to hold the words so I can read them?
Yes.
That'd be awesome. We're having the Joel.
Oh, we need another Joel. We need to balance out our songsters here. Get him a mic.
Well, we chose a song this week.
Okay.
Those of you who lived through the 60s feel things are a little familiar now. There's a lot going on in the world. And so the writers in the 60s wrote some pretty cool songs like Bob Dylan. The times they are changing.
So should I be over here?
Sure. 2, 3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Too close.
Come gather around, people, wherever you roll. And admit that the waters around you have grown, and accepted that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. Every time you is worth saving. If heaven starts swimming, or you sink like it's gone, for the time stay under the shade. Come writers and critics who prophesy with your pen, and keep your eyes wide, the chance won't come again. And don't speak too soon, through the wheels still spin. And there's no telling that it's leaving. For the turn, now will be later soon. For the time, stay on the change. Young senators, congressmen, please see the call. Don't stand in the doorway, don't block up the hall. For he who gets hurt will be you installed. There's a Bible outside in its region. It's shake your windows and rattle your walls. For the kind
There you go. Thank you. Okay, gentlemen, very impressive. I was kind of pretending. I wasn't doing very well. Did I look good doing it? That's all that matters. Okay, thought for the day.
Thank you, Madam President. Today, I thought I'd share a little bit about my favorite color, pink. Did you know that pink could be the Earth's oldest color? A 2018 study found that bright pink pigments were in 1.1 billion-year-old rocks. Pink is thought to be a calming color associated with love, kindness, and femininity. It is also considered a power color representing hope. A person who loves pink can be a pinkophile. It wasn't until the 1940s that realtors started marketing pink as a girl's color. Since 1991, the pink ribbon is the international symbol of breast cancer awareness. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and this Friday, October 27th, is Pink Ribbon Day. The pink ribbon represents courage to those fighting breast cancer, hope for the future, and the charitable goodness of people and businesses that support the breast cancer movement. So my thought for the day is think pink. And if you haven't already, schedule your mammogram. Thank you.
Thank you, Kimberly. That was amazing. And am I feeding back here? We should all, do I need to move? Oh, I don't. Okay. All righty. So let's look here. Okay. Frontline we have our Spur reporter. We haven't changed anything, right? Oh, good. Okay. Kathy Coyle, Spur publisher, Ted Michaels. It'll be Kathy Coyle. You just got a deal? So next week, okay, there you go. That's good. Okay, Kathy Coyle. Photographer, Irv Stowers, I see you. You didn't change. Good job. Audiovisual, Dennis O'Brien, thank you so much. Jeff Youngsma in here in person, but is the Zoom chat monitor and host. So thank you for that. Greeters, today was Trex Donovan. Woo, thank you. And then we have our traveling Mike, Mike Stirs. That's new Jim. I love that. And Lynn Freeman, thank you both for stepping up. Our web mistress, Kathy Coyle, once again. And public outreach is Kelly Bowers. Our sergeant at arms today, we have both Bob Bishop and Trex Donovan. Thank you all so very much. And how are we doing with our little raffle? 1,554. Did you get your tickets? Get your tickets. Okay, so let's start in Zoom land. Do we have any visiting Rotarians or guests? Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, let's get started. Do we have any visiting Rotarians in the room? Okay, guests, and I'm assuming Mr. Nebo will wait for our group later. Okay. Do we, aside from our students of the month, do we have any other, and our presenter, any other guests in the room? Okay. Can we get over there with the mic? Oh, Ron, we need the mic over here for Mr. Koopman.
I have my caregiver today, Celia Stewart, again today.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Ron. Okay. All righty, Mike. Go ahead.
Am I next?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, by the way, my name is Mike Morgan, and my guest today is my love of my life and my wife. On Saturday will be 40 years, Nancy Morgan.
All right, Nancy, welcome. Okay, any other guests? Oh, we got to take your picture. Oh, very nice. Okay. All righty. I guess that's everyone. Okay, let's get started. Our first is Student of the Month. So Bill Nebo, do you want to come and take care of that for us?
I think one of the most interesting and rewarding things to do as a member of this club is to be part of the Student of the Month program. It's just a pleasure to meet these students and their parents and the leaders of the high schools that we represent. And it's my pleasure today to introduce to you the principal of Livermore High School, Roxana Mohammed, and she will present to us our 3 students of the month. So please come forward.
I don't know where he found that picture, but I'm glad it's the younger version of me. All right. Right. Okay. So very honored to be here. When Mr. Nebo reached out to me, he said, what 3 students do you have for Rotary Student of the Month? And, Livermore High School, we have such phenomenal students there. And I'm sure you guys all know about that. But the 3 that I picked stand out quite a bit. Michael's been on me forever since he was a freshman and I was his vice principal. So I'm going to go ahead and start with Michael. Michael, why don't you come on up here, son? All right. So I have a lot to say about Michael. And I had to, make it less than like 30 seconds. So, well, I don't have cooties. You can stand right here. All right, here we go. Michael Zhang is an exceptional student with a perfect unweighted GPA of 4.0. and a weighted GPA of 4.67. I don't know how they do that. I do, but His SAT score of 1580, including perfect math and reading and writing scores, highlights his academic prowess. I love it. As a 2024 National Merit Scholarship semifinalist, Michael's performance on the PSAT is exemplary. He has completed an impressive 15 AP courses, excelling in each. In addition to his academic achievements, Michael has received accolades in physics and mathematics competitions, including a United States Physics Olympiad silver medal. He has already made significant contributions, including a notable internship at Stony Brook University, focusing on nuclear reactor materials. Additionally, he's worked on groundbreaking projects related to nucleosynthesis, which I have no idea what that is, but that's okay. Nucleosynthesis in the early universe at Purdue University. As a leader, Michael has made significant contributions to his school community. He founded and leads the Physics Club, excelling in national physics competitions. He co-founded and serves as president of the Investment Club, managing teams for national stock competitions. Michael also tutors and organizes national math competitions as president of the Math Club. Michael is an accomplished pianist, performing with orchestras and receiving recognition from the National Piano Guild. He demonstrates a strong commitment to service through leadership roles in various organizations, including the Livermore Area Youth Advisory Commission and the Global Leadership Initiative for Youth. In the tech industry, Michael has gained practical experience as a junior software developer at Profit Town LLC. He also contributes to education as a teaching assistant for Code to Win, a branch of the same company. With plans to apply to top-tier institutions such as Princeton, MIT, UC Berkeley, CMU, Georgia Tech, and UIUC, Michael aspires to make his mark in the STEM fields. Please join me in recognizing Michael Zhang, whose contributions and potential are nothing short of extraordinary.
Thank you. I think it's going to be pretty hard to follow up on that. I'm not sure if I entirely deserve all that praise, but thank you so much. Like Mrs. Muhammad said, yes, I'm trying to apply for top colleges like Princeton and MIT. I hope to get into them, but I can never be really sure. And yes, I am trying to get into some STEM fields like physics. I have a strong interest in physics from all my background in high school. And I hope to one day become a researcher at a top institution. Thank you very much.
Michael, why don't you introduce your parents?
Okay. Well, okay. This is my mom, Xiaoying Lu. This is my dad, Xiaoying Zhang.
Thank you so much.
Gotta bring it back down. All right. All right. My next student is Michelina Monaco. Come on up, sweetheart. All right. Michelina is a standout achiever and dedicated servant leader. From her early days in 9th grade, she took charge in various activities, notably as a team leader in the California All-Star Competitive Cheerleading, earning the title of Most Inspirational Athlete. In 2021, Michelina ventured into the world of competitive race car driving. I knew you were going to get a what? Proving herself as a fearless and skilled driver. She later became the president and CEO of the Race for Research, a nonprofit organization dedicated to benefiting St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Under her leadership, hear this, the organization raised an astonishing $115,000. Michelina's core values center around community service, as evidenced by her commitment of 25 hours per week It's evident that her dedication is aimed at improving the world that we live in. Academically, Michelina shines, consistently earning a place on the principal's honor roll and honor roll. She aspires to major in biopsychology, with her sights set on becoming a psychiatrist and a clinician scientist, working under the Department of Psychology and Biobehavioral Sciences at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Her work ethic is evident in her role as a production control assistant at Lenthor Engineering. Her dedication to her duties is quite commendable. Her most striking quality is her unwavering determination to achieve her goals, coupled with a selfless and authentic nature. She's just very humble. Michelina Monaco is the beacon of inspiration dedicated to making a positive difference. Her future as a psychiatrist and her dedication to LSAC fundraising highlight her drive to create a better world. Please join me in applauding Michelina Monaco for her outstanding contribution.
Thank you. Like Ms. Mohammed said, my name is Michelina Monaco. I'm a Livermore High senior and I'm 17, maintaining straight A's. I'm vice president of the Body Peace Club, and I'm also president of my own, officially now classified as a 501c3 nonprofit charity organization, Race for Research. I race micro sprint cars and have created a platform of my own through networking and gaining sponsorships in the last 3 years of being involved in motorsports. By doing this, I gained experience working with business owners and promoting their businesses and companies on my social media and my race car. My dad had not only inspired my racing career, but also my desire to bring back Race for Research. After my dad beat his own battle with cancer, he created an event to benefit St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Over the years, he raised hundreds of thousands of dollars. The annual event was unfortunately discontinued after San Jose Speedway closed down, until I decided to bring it back 25 years later. Last May, Race for Research had 41 race car drivers, or celebrity waiters, signed up to serve a formal dinner to their tables full of family, friends, sponsors, business owners in their racing suits. We collected over 120 silent auction items and trips anywhere from Hawaii to Mexico to a motorcycle and even a race car for our live auction. We had guest speakers, and even one being a former St. Jude patient and neuroblastoma survivor. By the end of the night, we had raised over $115,000 for St. Jude since our first event since 1999. I've now been approached by St. Jude to work directly with them in being a philanthropic leader to the upcoming generations. Because of St. Jude's research within the last 61 years, pediatric cancer survival rates have gone from 20% to 80%. Families who have a child at St. Jude never receive a bill for treatment, housing, care, food, or travel. Fundraisers and donors like Race for Research make this possible. Not only does St. Jude do miracles for families, but they will not stop until no child has to be told they're going to die. Everyone can be a part of this worldwide mission and make a difference. I am so pleased to have the opportunity to join you all here today. I would love for you to be involved in my racing program or Race for Research. And if you are interested, please talk to me directly. I would be happy to answer any questions that you might have. Thank you.
Christina?
And right here is my dad, Mark, and over there is my mom, Christy.
All right. Oh, please. Here we go. Oh, please. If you work with me, I say that all day long. Oh, please. All right. Okay, Lillian, come on up, sweetheart. Before I start, I just want to say that this student is in 10th grade. So we have 2 more years with her. And I'm sure we have a lot to look forward to. All right. Lillian Speckenhauer. Okay. In the realm of academics, Lillian has maintained an impeccable 4.0 GPA, showcasing her dedication, organization, and problem-solving skills. Her enthusiasm for learning extends across a diverse array of subjects, from agricultural science to social science and American Sign Language, where her genuine connection with the language and its community shines. Her leadership roles in various clubs and organizations, including the Anti-Vaping Club, which we really need more of, okay, and the Leadership Club, highlight her commitment to making a positive impact. As a dedicated athlete, she excels in both club and varsity level swimming, exemplifying her determination and drive. In her community service endeavors, Lillian has displayed a commendable spirit of giving back, from initiating a fundraiser for active working dogs to organize Arroyo, did I say dog? That's right, okay, to organizing Arroyo Creek trash pickup days. She has shown a deep sense of responsibility towards her local community. As a group leader in the Link Crew Club, she has mentored and supported younger students, fostering a sense of belonging and acceptance. Lillian's accomplishments have not gone unnoticed, and she has received numerous awards and honors both within and outside of school. From Principal's Honor Roll distinctions to the Flora Workshop National Scholarship, her achievements are a testament to her dedication and excellence. What truly sets Lillian apart, however, is her entrepreneurial spirit. As the founder of the Floral Love Flower Farms, she has demonstrated a remarkable ability to combine her love for organic flower farming and design, creating a business that not only provides beautiful floral arrangements, but also enriches her local community. As she looks ahead for her future, Lillian envisions herself attending a four-year university and exploring studies in soils chemistry, engineering, or plant horticulture biology. Please welcome and applaud Lillian Speckenhauer.
Hello, my name is Lillian. Thank you, Ms. Mohammed. I am a sophomore at Livermore High School. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I want to begin by thanking the Rotary Club of Livermore for presenting me with this award. I would also like to thank my teachers and administrators for nominating me to receive this honor. I know Livermore High School has many hardworking and deserving students, and I am humbled to receive this award. I've been asked to talk a little bit about what interests me, how I give back to my community, and my plans for the future. Although I enjoy many outdoor sports, including surfing, my main sport is competitive swimming. I have the privilege of swimming with Tri-Valley Aquatics, a local competitive club team. I love to swim. I love the water. I've always been the first person in and the last person out. I also enjoy seeing how far I can push myself to succeed. I hope to continue swimming after high school and college and well into my adult life. I enjoy giving back to my local community. I especially love getting to know the people that I have helped. I have enjoyed raising money for our local canine officers, helping with my school's Link Crew as a group leader, as well as helping as a leadership club member with local elementary and middle school events. I really enjoy mentoring young students and peers. I like making people feel accepted and welcome. I like to finish by talking about my passion for flower farming. In 2020, I started my business, Floral Love Flower Farms. It is a small-scale organic flower farm. I sell custom floral arrangements to the community. I have had the privilege to provide flowers for multiple wedding events. I love the positive way flowers affect a community. Like many things in life, you can't properly grow without a good foundation in place. In the case of flower farming, I believe your flowers are as good as your soil. Therefore, I have a special interest in soil science and responsible soils management. In the future, I hope to continue to expand my flower business. I want to focus on teaching and promoting healthy and environmentally friendly flower farming. I plan to attend a 4-year directly after high school to study either soil science or sustainable agriculture. Beyond college, I want to continue to find opportunities to spread the joy of flowers in my community. Thank you for giving me this opportunity and sharing a little bit about what interests me. My mom, Monica Speckenhoyer, and my dad, Jason Speckenhoyer.
Okay, I'm just tired listening to them. Let's give them all a big round of applause. Oh my goodness. Okay, between all of you, I'm thinking there's people right here, they're going to be scared because you're going to take their job. And then these two over here, Rotary, this young little lady over here, we need you. Fundraising to Mark and I are over there going, And this one, you know what? You're going to take my job because you're going to save the world. So we have got some amazing students and thank you so much. They are incredible. Okay, so I am going to speed announce because we have 5 minutes before our speakers. So the Ready program, if you don't mind, you know what? Maybe I might need a little help with this. Bob, do we have a mic over there?
Yeah, we finished a field trip Saturday, our first one out of 5 for the year, to the Tech Museum in San Jose, which I'd never been to. We had a great time. You can see the kids had a great time too. So, and thanks for your support to help us fund this.
You bet. You bet. Big Brown. Okay. All right. I'm lying. Let's see, either Joel or Dennis, can you talk about Veterans First real quick? You go. Okay.
It was a great day on Saturday to be out on the field, and we had 3 people actually participating in all the events, and we hurt the next day. Let's see. And Bob ran probably the most grueling exhibit there, 22 chin-ups, 88 squats, stuff like that. So
you go, Bob.
We did our best. Anyway, it was a great fundraiser for all the different veterans groups at Las Positas College.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Great way to give back. Okay. So we'll probably have to skip on the brags. Let's move right along. Okay. So there is a dinner coming up. I think, and I have to apologize, I don't know if this goes out to it goes out to everyone. Okay, good. So everybody saw this. So if you're interested, $110 on November 2nd. Sounds like it's an amazing speaker. So if you have the opportunity, please join. Then we have tonight, Halloween Wednesday. And Sonia has pulled out all the stops. It's going to be an amazing evening. Is the morning club going to join? Any of the members are going to join us, Sonia? Where'd she go? You're being paged. No. Oh, maybe next time. Anyway, wear some sort of costume. You get a free glass of wine. Red Badgers, you get free wine. The rest of us buy our wine. And Sonia's providing amazing snacks. This is at Garay Winery. And the hours are on there, right? 4:30 till closing. We always close the place. Okay. Next, there is a card circulating. Okay. I'll get to that in a second, real quick. Cards circulating for Brian Mayhell. Who can, where is Splend? It's almost done. Thank you so much. But I think he had a little fall. Did he have a little, broke his wrist. So he's on the mend, but we're sending a card around. So please sign that. And then, reminder tomorrow night, there is, wait a minute. Is it tomorrow night or we're doing it for the, okay, Page Mill. What's it pay? Oh, the fundraiser for the wheelchair. So there's a wheelchair fundraiser that's going to be at Page Mill. Portion of your proceeds from your purchase of your wine goes toward that, correct? Joel? And it's the Dublin Rotary that's hosting it, so you're all invited. And oh boy, was that 5:30? 5:30, I think it's 5:30. You know what? I will have Joel, we'll send out something to everybody. Okay, perfect. And then tomorrow during the day, if there's any Red Badgers that need to check a board meeting off their list, we're having our board meeting at Common Point nonprofit facility at 164 North L Street. And that's at 11:30 to 12:30-ish is our board meeting. And then last but not least, Trish Monroe has some obligations that is preventing her from continuing as a youth service chairperson. So our wonderful, wonderful Keith Beck has offered to step up and help. So Keith, thank you so much. I'm always so in awe with our Rotarians and from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And Matt Fuzzi thanks you because he got a little scared. He will be your cheering co-chair. Okay, next week, we'll be back at the Robert Livermore Center on East Avenue. We'll have the sandwiches, our normal fare. And I think now it is time for Don Sweeney to introduce our speaker. I think I get everything in there. Bob, was there a crab meeting tomorrow or no? No. Okay.
There's a wine social today.
Yeah, I announced the wine social. Yeah.
So it's my pleasure to introduce Dave Rakestraw. How many of you know Stanford PhD physicists who are successful founders and owners, former owners of successful businesses, who then went on to teach some high school physics? So I see one, Bob. So in a minute or two, you're going to hear that Dave is both very competent and very passionate about the way he proposes to teach physics. And that's relevant, I think, to us today because the topic is both relevant and, most importantly, just as accessible to students in third world countries as it is to students in Livermore. And so I think the topic fits perfectly with the Rotary's mission of international service. So let me introduce Dave.
Great. I think I can talk pretty loud. Oh, you need the mic. Got it. Okay. Okay. So thank you for inviting me to your meeting today. And I'm going to share with you something that's been a passion of mine for the last few years. And hopefully you will find it interesting. And it's always exciting to talk to a room full of, bright individuals because they always have ideas on what to do next, right? And where things might go. And that's in part, I'm interested in hearing your guys' thoughts about that. So, we're going to talk about this, and it really is, I think, a potential revolution in teaching students about STEM. And I've been a scientist for a long time, and I've done a lot of different things over the years. And this is really something quite remarkable. And hope you guys will find it as interesting as I do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off what I was initially going to do is I was going to actually have all you guys participate and actually do some of these experiments. But with a short period of time, what I'll do is we'll kind of tell you about them. And I have a bunch of phones and I can help you guys do some of them afterwards if you're interested. So I'm going to show you a video clip of, so Channel 2 News came out, Fox News came out, did to Livermore High School, and did a special on this because I was helping to teach there, and I've been helping teachers there implement some of these methods at the school. And I'm going to show you that clip. We'll talk then about what are some of the challenges in teaching STEM, how these smartphones can make a difference, a little bit about kind of what I've been doing with this over the past few years, and then then we'll have time for you guys to kind of ask questions and tell me what you think we should do next. Okay. So here's a news clip. So we'll just let it play.
Greg Lee shows us one East Bay scientist is trying to make science more equitable, one iPhone at a time.
A greater rock would have a greater force, which means a greater acceleration.
It's Physics in the Field Day for Miss Johnston's class at Livermore High School.
It's just great being in an environment where we can do a lot of experiments and do a lot of hands-on learning.
We're allowed to go into the real world and explore physics in action. So by that, I think it sinks further into our brain.
What's unique about this class, the students are measuring concepts like velocity, frequency, and friction, all on their iPhones.
Having the ability for each individual student to have their own set of state-of-the-art sensors has allowed us to do all kinds of science that we could never do before.
How do you compare those to some of the other?
For the last 4 years, David Rakestraw has focused much of his energy on developing a science program simply using what many students have in their pockets. It uses technology built into the devices and apps that already exist. He calls it physics with phones.
They put this thing in to help us figure out how to get our pictures to go back and forth. But you guys are much smarter than that. You're using it to like measure Newton's second law. Companies are putting hundreds of billions of dollars a year into making this better and to have all these features in it. And they can now be used to teach students in class.
Rakestraw currently works at Lawrence Livermore National Labs. He's spent his decades-long career using and teaching science. He created this curriculum to excite students about STEM and, more importantly, make complicated, often expensive experiments accessible to all for free.
About 1,000 teachers that download this material every month from all over the world from my website.
We can do the same experiments, the same stuff as like people who are spending millions of dollars, or just using our phones. It makes everything so much easier.
I'll lean back like this on the bench. You can put this on my heart.
It's a labor of love for Rakestraw. He's put together nearly 3,000 pages of hundreds of experiments in his free time. His goal, not unlike Newton's law, that students who are moved by science will remain moved by it when barriers are removed.
This will be the most important project that I ever do in my life because the impact this can have is just really remarkable.
In Livermore, Greg Lee, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
All right. So in Channel 5 News did a another special about a year ago on it as well. And so there's lots of interest in this topic. So let's see. So if you look at how students learn, how do people learn? How do you understand things? How do things sink into your brain? Well, 30 years of research have shown that the way you do that is by actually investigating and doing science, right? To actually carrying things out, right? You didn't learn how to be an entrepreneur and do things by reading about them, right? You learn through the process of carrying it out. You know, you learn from mistakes, you learn from analyzing things, asking questions, and that's how people learn, right? And you learn science that way. And so these hands-on investigations, the ability to kind of work on relevant topics, these are all ways that we really learn things. So we know that's the way it works, right? It doesn't work by staying up at the chalkboard and lecturing and trying to tell people this is how things work, right? Students don't remember things. They don't really learn that way. And it's also, there's been a big focus by the national academies to incorporate in not just learning concepts, but learning how you do stuff, right? So learning how to build models, how to do critical thinking, how to do data analysis. All of these things are the skill sets that you need to solve problems. And that's what the focus has been on. And so if you want to do that, there's a lot of these kind of, high-tech classrooms that are getting built, and they put lots of sophisticated equipment in them so that students can actually do these kinds of investigations, right? But the problem is that it's expensive and it's not accessible to everybody. And even if you had money, so I taught it, the first year I taught high school about 5 years ago was at Monte Vista High School. And so in Monte Vista is a relatively affluent community. They can afford a lot of stuff for their classrooms, but even there, you still had 7 kids crowding around a piece of equipment. So mostly what that means is 6 kids watch, 1 person do it, right? And it's just not very effective. But instead, what you can use is these smartphones, okay? And these smartphones have this extraordinary number of sensors in it. They have 3-axis accelerometers, 3-axis gyroscopes, 3-axis magnetometers, pressure transducers, light sensors, microphones. They got GPS systems in them to measure microwaves from satellites circulating the earth to tell you where you're standing within a foot, on the planet, right?
all of these things are in your phone, okay? And we can use them to teach students about science, okay? And the wonderful thing about it is every single kid is an expert user. They don't have to learn how to use their phone. They don't need a manual, right? There's no manual that comes with your phone when you get it. They just pick them up and they start using them, right? And they work, right? So so what this does is it allows hundreds of experiments to be done that can teach a wide range of topics in science, okay? It really touches on exactly what we want to, how we want our kids to learn, which is basically being able to do stuff, see their information, change their environment, change their experiments. They can, and these devices are super, super powerful, right? So I can set my phone on this desk, and then I can set it on the floor, and I can measure the change in pressure and measure the density of air to 3 significant figures, okay? And the reason is, you know, any of you guys exercise buffs out there? Some of you guys like to exercise. You ever use these kind of smart watches or other things to kind of tell you how many stairs you climbed? Well, it's because they're going to tell you exactly how many stairs you climbed. And the way they do that is they measure the change in pressure. Okay. So the precision on that pressure sensor is 0.002%. Okay. It's because, you know, when Don's climbing up the steps, you know, he wants to get credit for all 5 steps that he climbed up and not just 3. Okay. So he wants that precision to be really accurate. Right. And so, so these things are remarkably good. Right. So if you've had kids in classes before, they're always complaining about, oh, this stuff doesn't work. It's not very good. Okay. This stuff, these sensors, these are unbelievably good. Right. So, you can get, and basically because every student has one, there's 6.5 billion smartphones in the world. Okay. And almost every student figures out how to get one regardless of their economic, you know, situation. And the thing is that the ones that we need for doing these experiments can be 5 generations old. You can pick them up for $50 on eBay. Okay. And so it's really remarkable. So then you can have everybody's doing it their own. They can now be in, you know, doing stuff individually or in really small groups. So everybody's participating, and they no longer have to just do the experiments in class. They can do them anywhere. They can do them at home. They can do them on the playground. They can do them when they go to the amusement park. They can do experiments that are remarkable anywhere they want to. And that really changes the dynamic. Okay. So what I've done is I've created, using these sensors, I started to think, oh, this is kind of a cool idea when I first started teaching. And what I found was that there were so many things that could be done that nobody had actually really thought of before, because they were used to using kind of traditional equipment that had very limited capabilities. And with these phones, you could do so much more. So I've created like almost 3,000 pages of material. I'll give you guys business cards at the end that will have this QR code on it, and it'll allow you to go to that site and you can kind of go through into the information that you want. Okay. And what I've done is, along with the phone, sometimes there's needs for other little things. And what I've done is I've put together experiments that will use very simple items. So the items here that you can use basically to teach an entire year of physics, okay, is basically less than $20. My barrier is if the item costs more than $1, we're not going to use it. Okay, because I want to stay with this theme of making it accessible to everybody. Okay, and I just had my daughter text me, and then the professor from Duke, where she's going to school, saying, "Oh, we're running some of your experiments this week," you know, and he was going, and I just did those experiments myself, and this data is unbelievably amazing. And so even at a place like Duke that has a pretty good engineering department, the head of the physics department, who is actually also the head of the dean of arts and sciences there, he basically said this stuff is so much better than what we're doing at Duke right now, and he's implementing it in all his classes, right? So so what do we got here? Okay, so so what I did if you saw in that film, if you lay your phone on your chest, you can basically measure the vibrations of your heart. And you can measure things like when your aortic valve opens, when your mitral valve closes, the contraction and of your various atria or ventricles. Okay. And you can study this in phenomenal detail. I had done it a few years ago, and I was getting these beautiful sinus rhythms, looking at, characterizing everything. And all of a sudden it went to heck. Okay. And turns out that I thought, well, maybe there's something wrong. Well, there was something wrong. I was like an AFib. And so I diagnosed myself, went to the hospital, and the doctors all got very excited about this tool. And there's a long story with that, but we won't go into it now. So I've been doing stuff with teaching teachers on this. And so we run a teacher research academy at the lab. We have teachers from all over the world that attend this remotely. I've been asked to give presentations at all the major conferences. So this is the American Physics Teachers Association, the National Science Teachers Association, STEM Teachers New York City, Math for America. All of these are national conferences that I've done workshops off to try to educate teachers. I had this past summer, I actually had 25 summer interns from colleges all over the country working with me from different universities all over the country. It was very, very cool because I only paid one student out of all those. The rest of them got money from other places and came to work on this project with me. These students did things like develop new versions of the app that you use on your phone to collect this sensor data. And we also published a paper that came out in the Physics Teacher. The Physics Teacher is a journal. It's kind of the primary journal for physics teachers in the world. And for the last couple months, this was the most read paper in the journal. We also have done things with high school kids. We had for the first time, we had a workshop this summer at Lawrence Livermore where we had 30 students come, and they spent a whole week doing physics experiments. After a week of so this is right after kids got out of school. We did physics experiments from 8 in the morning till 4:30 in the afternoon, Monday through Friday. Okay, on Friday afternoon, I asked the students, okay, so which of your feedback, would you suggest is the best thing we can do to improve this for the future? And the majority of the kids said, well, can we do it 2 weeks next year? And so they really had a great time. A lot of the kids came back with, they learned more using this approach in a week than they had learned in their physics class for the entire year at school. So it's a really great approach. So this past year, I've actually been in classes and helped about 800 students directly that participated. We ran pilots at different places. So I ran pilot project like at Cal State Fresno, and I had like 150 people from their calculus-based physics class run through multiple weeks of these classes piloting it. We kind of had this 25 interns, as I told you, and I trained this year over 300 physics educators through these workshops and other programs. And we get about 1,000 downloads a month from the material on our website. So not a lot, for compared to like, Beyonce's music, but a lot for a physics curriculum. Okay. So with that, what I'm looking for now is really, I've been convinced from what I've done over the last 4 years that this is really remarkable. And every educator that I run into realizes what a potential for change this is. And, but still trying to figure out how to actually scale it and try to make sure that more and more people have access and this is available to people. And so there's really both some multiple different fronts on this, which is to expand the content, to basically expand outreach to educators, and to try to think of how to do, improve summer programs for students. So one of the things that I'll just give you an example, because I was working on it yesterday, is to increase the student outreach. And one of the places that you will see is a lot of the Cal State universities, which try to bring in more kind of students into the STEM fields that maybe aren't our top award winners from Livermore High. They really don't have very strong backgrounds. And so the 4 to 6 year graduation rates at a lot of our Cal State universities is in the 40% range, right? They just don't make it through, okay? And when I was teaching at Fresno, it was very clear that these students just don't have the backgrounds. And so one of the things that a program like this could do is really get them engaged and prepared to do things. So setting up what's called a summer bridge program that would take in students that have been accepted into schools, be able to bring them up to speed. They're 18 years old now, they can learn much faster, get them up to a place where they can be successful in the more rigorous college material. And so that's an example pilot that we're going to run this summer to try to see if that can be effective. And that could really be a model for a lot of schools throughout the country. So as an example. With that, I will answer anybody's questions.
I have a question. Hello?
What is the iPhone app for capturing the science data?
So the one that I use the most is called Phyphox. So Phyphox. And like I say, I can give you, if you go to that, either the QR code that I have on my business card, there'll be a place where it'll show you all the apps that I use on the phone. But that's one of them. But Livermore is actually developing our own app that we want to make sure is continually available for free to all the students and teachers that want to use it. Because I'm worried that somebody will kind of change the status of an app if it starts getting used too much and see an opportunity.
Yes.
Hank, can you ask your question, please?
I didn't quite hear. What's the app you use on your phone?
It's called, one of them is called Phyphox, so Phyphox. It's written by a group of educators in Germany.
And is that available on the Apple web?
It's available on both Android and the Apple Store for free.
Okay, and have you published any of the material on the experiments that you've been conducting?
Yes, so Livermore has a website dedicated to this that has over 3,000 pages of material that's free to download to anybody throughout the world to use.
You wouldn't happen to know the address of that website, would you?
I have QR codes here, and I put one, there was one in the slides, but if you search physics with phones, first link that comes up.
Thank you, Hank.
Thank you.
Are you in need of any money?
What I would prefer is what I really need is more people that are interested in becoming involved and helping to lead student groups, run workshops. So like this summer workshop that I give for teachers, it fills up, almost instantaneously, and I have to shut it down. So part of what I'm interested in is, is this something that people within Rotary might be interested in becoming more involved with and helping to communicate and lead students in our teachers in these kinds of activities. So I don't really have a mechanism of taking your money at the lab to do this at the moment. Places like Quest are actually helping and making donations to some of my collaborators that are doing work in this area.
Well, if that should change, one of our major donors, TopCon, gave money in this last year for STEM programs, and I believe that our local foundation still has some of that available.
Yeah, and so one of the things that we could do if Rotary was interested in is, these bridge programs that I'm talking about. The ideal thing to do is to be able to pay the students to be able to attend them, because they can't afford not to work during the summer. So that would be a wonderful thing for, that Rotary could kind of help coordinate one of those and help pay for students to be able to take such a program. So that would be, a potential option to do something like that.
Thanks.
Dave, it's a wonderful talk. Let's see, I saw in one of the view graphs, someone had what appeared to be a spectrogram on his phone. Do you teach signal processing as well?
Yeah, so I have a whole lesson on digital signal processing and
filters
and using that. And we do a whole bunch with basically taking sound waves and doing Fourier transforms on them to basically come out with the frequencies associated with sound waves. And so there's a beautiful set of experiments to do on that. But I teach them about, quantized both basically time and amplitude and what and how to look at that and make sense of it in some of the lessons. Yes.
Does that extend to filters as well?
So I do not teach them any filtering that is not kind of simple digital filtering, like a lower high pass filter.
So question for, we have a program that helps kids in middle school. And I also have a daughter that teaches science in middle school. Do you have any programs tailored just for middle school that we could use quickly in that area?
There are certainly aspects of what we do that is relevant for middle school that has less math in it. What I've focused on is high school and introductory college level physics to date, but there are certainly aspects of aspects of the experiments that are relevant for middle school, things that you can do with color or building them, using a lens to create a super powerful microscope out of your phone, things like that. So there's a lot in sound that is very kind of middle school accessible.
Yeah. And then one last question.
Oh,
Alan, I'm going to ask a question first.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Have you been in contact with Carl Wyman from Stanford?
I have. Yeah,
Okay.
I've talked to Carl.
Yeah, because he's also kind of at the collegiate level wanting to change how physics is taught and science is taught.
Yeah, no, he's done a lot of interesting work, and he's done a lot with these FETs and these simulations. And while I think those are interesting, I think they're not nearly as powerful as actually being able to do the measurements directly yourself.
Two more questions.
David, I think you're too modest in your efforts here, in the sense that you talk about local, but this is really a worldwide thing, all over the. So I guess maybe the question is not to you, but to those who are involved in Rotary. What can this club do to make this an international project?
Right. And it certainly is. And, the fact that this is accessible to everybody, there's actually a substantial pilot going on in China right now that's using this approach to teach in all of their kind of premier high schools throughout China. So I was involved in some conference calls on that.
And then Bill.
Your program field effect commentary at all?
It does. So we have, experiments with both visible light and with using microwaves. So one of the really cool experiments with microwaves is you can actually take a router, with the antennas going up and down and, putting out microwaves, and you can use a oven cooling rack as a polarizer, and you can extinguish the microwaves by turning the direction of the polarizer on it. So there's just phenomenal stuff that you can do with this.
Dave, I just want to say thank you very much. I'm over here. And to all of my fellow Rotarians in here that maybe don't read the Spur every week, I will have the QR code and as many addresses. If you've never used a QR code, I'll actually put web addresses in there so you can access all the information he spoke about today. So thanks.
Fantastic. Did you have a quick question?
Yeah, it's really,
This is amazing.
it's really cool. And what I have is I have a bunch of documents here that are summaries of a bunch of the experiments. And so if anybody wants one of these, they can take them. And then I'll have business cards that have the QR code to get to the bulk of the machine, the stuff if you want it.
This is amazing. How about a big round of applause? Incredible. If you have a couple minutes, because I know that there's probably a couple Rotarians here that have burning questions to ask you, but I do know Bob over here was saying, and I'm sure there's probably other members of our Rotary Club that would be interested in helping with this, that this is their background. So thank you so much. So I have to thank you. Your choice either of wine or olive oil. The olive oil is courtesy of one of our local farmers. He grows these olives here in Livermore, Charles Crow. So again, thank you so very much. And we have a little raffle here. So I would like if you could please read the number.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. The number is 4605542.
Oh, it's you. All right, Ted. All right. Again, thank you so much. All right, everyone. Thank you so very much. Reminder, tonight is the wine social at Garay. And then tomorrow night is the fundraiser. And then next week, thank you. Julia Moore from Fremont Bank, the outreach manager. She'll be our speaker. We'll be back at the Robert Livermore Center. Thank you all so very much and have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you.
Great job.